Hello, and welcome back to Dice Dropping Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game, Chronicles of House Weirlight. We're in the middle of the birthday celebration, and
Doing it. We're making it happen.
we're doing it. It's happening. And we're coming in on Mariella. Mariella, what do we find you doing at the moment?
I have survived the grandparents. I have returned the pendant back to my room. I am now probably making my way back out to like the main kind of garden tourney area. Maybe heading towards the joust because I'm sure I'm hearing clashing of armor and lances, and I like to watch horses.
Horses are fun.
Horses are a thing.
Horsemen.
But yeah, so I'm probably heading that way, but I can be easily distracted depending on the person. For conversation and things.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
any people in particular, Mariella, you're distracted by?
I've given my wish list. We'll see if anybody shows up.
So on the way, if you're seeing as you're kind of on the lookout as you're heading there, you do spot in the distance. You do spot Jennifer, and it looks like she's speaking with a man you don't really recognize, but they look like they are familiar with one another.
Okay.
And you would, Jennifer. There's definitely some like flirting going on there.
Do I see any like colors on the gentleman or anything that could help?
His outfit, though looking fine, the coloring isn't helping you.
Okay.
Because it's the coloring of about 20 different houses that you can think of off the top of your head. There's only so many color combinations in the Reach, in the world. Though from the look of him, you would guess he isn't a Reachman.
Okay.
He has he's got like a trimmed beard and kind of clipped parts of his head. So he looks, you would say probably maybe either Mountains of the Moon. You would actually probably say more Mountains of the Moon or Stormlands, maybe.
Okay.
They've got a bit of a rougher edge there, and this man looks that, though obviously he's got some fits to him.
And I know that she's like originally from like Mountains of the Moon.
She's
area.
Originally from the Mountains of the Moon, yes.
Okay. Cool. I will kind of take note of that in the back of my head, but not interrupt. I've been informed by one of the ladies that we normally house. I can be a distraction when they're trying to work any wiles. So it's like.
Understood. But yes, once again, you're getting many well wishes. You, of course, get to the tourney field. You do see a suspicious thing. It looks like you see in the distance. You know the outline of your father from anywhere, and
yes,
it looks like he's walking with a young woman.
Okay.
Though he walks with purpose instead of leisure.
I make note so that I can inquire with my father later.
Indeed. You make your way to the tourney stands. You see some folk you recognize there. You definitely notice Mace in all of his glory. Mace Tyrell.
All that revelry of poached quail eggs and bacon.
Quite. He looks quite content. And you do kind of hear some whinnying, and you look like, two knights are setting up. You see one knight, they both wear full plate. And one kind of has this white bannering to their horse. The other one has this deep, honestly, beautiful red color. A little, like, a lot darker than your family's red. It's quite gorgeous, the trimming on it, and you can tell from the bearing of this horse that it has this sort of pale blonde mane. It's and this kind of rich, deep, like burnt honey colored skin. It definitely looks like a very the coloring makes you think of a certain type of horse. It doesn't have the weight of like a charger to you.
Okay.
It definitely seems not a palfrey or anything, but it definitely seems like a nothing is so heavy set. You're not quite sure. You'd have to probably get a better look at it later. But the two knights charge each other, and in the first pass, they have a glancing blow. Both of them just shatter their lances, but neither of them rock. However, in the second one, the knight with the white barding unseats the red knight. There's clapping and noting. The knight gets off his horse and goes off to the knocked up knight and offers his hand. The other knight stares up. You think they're talking, but the muffling of their helmets and the distance, it's difficult to say, and the clamor of the
crowd and everything.
The crowd about you is difficult. He instead turns over and stands up on his own, but does turn, man still offering his hand, and he just kind of like clasps it for like half a second, like goes click, and then just turns and walks off. Two men come up and grab the horse and walk the red knight's horse off the field. The white one just seems to nod and get back on his horse. But yeah, there definitely seems to be some colorful characters here.
Would there be any like house markings on either of them to help figure out who the knights could have been? If not, that's fine.
You could go over to the list man to see who they were.
The list man.
Sure. It did seem on their shields, but it was the flash and the damage to their shields makes it a little difficult. You couldn't quite see it. You came a little late. But you can go over to the list man. He does work for your family. If you go over to him and ask him who...
Well, I think I'll go over and I'll request to kind of see the list, because it's like I want to see when Henrik is also jousting to kind of...
Yeah, you see, Henrik is in a seated position, as in like he's not going to participate until...
But it also allows me to look at whoever could have just gone.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So you do see sort of marked. Oh no, he wasn't. Damn it! Do I not have? Hold on. Do I not have the? Do I not have the list? I don't know.
Roll 20 thieved it from you.
Roll 20.
Oh no! I did everything. Oh, good golly gosh! What? I mean, what was his name? It was such a good name.
It's okay. We can say the dude in charge of it has a real chicken scratch.
He was a Lannister, the Red Knight.
Okay.
I did mention him in a previous
issue.
I mentioned this particular man in a previous session, not this one or the last one, but I think 2 sessions ago.
All right, everyone, pause the game. Let's go back.
No,
let's watch.
Well,
Quick,
no. You had said issue Lannister.
Real quick.
He has been mentioned a couple times, but this is a different Lannister.
Not issue.
From what I'm...
Different Lannister.
So there was a Lannister mentioned by name who was here 2 sessions ago, and it's that Lannister.
Okay,
It is that
that's
guy's
fine.
name.
I remember the guy you're talking about. Like,
I don't think I was here 2 weeks ago. I don't
We're
remember.
fine. We can keep going. So it's this dude and another dude. Got it.
The other name you don't recognize at all. You've literally never heard of this house, which means it's probably very tiny.
That's alrighty. All right. Yeah, then I think I'll kind of also peruse through, and it's like if any other names snag my attention, like Layden or no, it's fine. It's fine.
But
don't worry about it, bro.
yeah, looks like yes, Layden is participating. Yes.
Okay. And then I know Garland said that he was.
Garland is participating.
I'm gonna assume Patrick Mallister is not on the list.
He is not.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. No, he is not on the list.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'm done kind of perusing it. Then return the list to the guy. I'll kind of I'll figure out where the hell I want to sit, whether or not I want to go up roughly where Mace is, or if I spot anybody else. Do I see like my mother's like horde of people here, or are they like
no,
somewhere
they're
else?
nowhere near the joust.
They're nowhere near the joust. Okay.
No, you would not even be able to see the jousting field.
It's Jean.
Jean?
Yeah. Jean.
So if there is a Jean Lannister here, then perhaps, but this man's name is an adjective.
Okay.
That is what I know.
It's okay. We'll keep going. Cool. Yeah, if I don't see, I'm assuming it's a sea of faces in the crowd.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I think yeah, I think I'll probably leave the joust field then. Because I don't think I want to converse with Mace quite yet. He's not a main target of conversation for me.
I mean, you would know where Layden is right now if you wanted to go talk to him. I remember you mentioning something.
Sure. I'm game for talking with Layden.
Sure, yeah. I mean, he'd be in his jousting tent.
Yeah. I'll head over there.
Sure.
Do I also like see my father like walking away from like where
You
Henrik
do.
is?
You're not sure if it's from where Henrik is, but
Well,
you do
but
see
like
your father
he's
coming
walking
back
like
now.
he's accomplished something.
Yes, he looks very pleased with himself.
I'll have to check in on that later.
Very well.
I'll kind of make my way over towards Layden's tent. Kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, you see there's like a guard outside of it who has a curiously, he's a black shield, like it's pure black.
Okay.
And it looks tall and oddly shaped. You think you might have seen guys like that around the Primarises on occasion. You're not sure what it's about, though.
We don't have that here. I would not know. No, I think I'll kind of smile and ask if it'd be possible for me to have a word with Theolden at all? Or
He goes, one moment, my lady, and you do hear from the tent. You hear Mariella, and then the tent just opens, and you see it's Layden. And he looks at you and he smiles. He goes, like, "Did you come to see me?"
I had hoped to. And I kind of like look at the guard and it's like, am I allowed?
And he goes, I think, I don't know, a truce? Is she allowed? And he just goes like, and just walks away. He goes, you'll have to forgive the truce. He's one of my father's sable guard.
Sable guard.
Yes, I'm sure if you were more military minded, you would have. My father tells me they're quite famous. But it's good to see you.
It's good to see you as well. Hopefully, the Reach has been treating you kindly so far.
Well, the travel was certainly more kind than it was on the way to King's Landing, I will tell you. Come in, unless you don't want to come in. Oh, yeah, come in. And opens the tent flap for you.
Enter.
Yeah. His tent, of course, has, like, a carpet and, like, tables and chairs and a bookshelf.
Furnished.
There's a bookshelf with books. There's,
Don't let Thorsten know.
Yeah. Yeah. There's fruit on the table. Glasses of wine. And he goes, please, sit. Can I tempt you with anything?
Possibly. What is possible to tempt me with?
I currently have a Tivian red from across the narrow sea. I like it. It's I think a little more. It's kind of more fruity based than a lot of Westerosi wines, which are, I think, we favor the dry wine quite heavily.
I can definitely try it. See if it's to my liking.
Yeah, he pours you a glass. Yeah, it's definitely more. It definitely feels. It kind of tastes more, right? Of biting into fruit, essentially.
I'm thinking like a Grenache or like a sangria, fruit forward thing.
Yes, very, very sangria-esque. You definitely a little more sugar. You definitely tell probably a little more alcoholic too.
Just a touch.
Just a touch. But yeah, he has it and goes, to your name day.
Thank you.
And he shares with you and he has a large drink and looks at you and smiles. And you definitely noticed when you first met him back at King's Landing, he seemed a lot more reserved. But right now he seems a lot less reserved. He seems more comfortable even. But how are you? How are you liking your celebration? Is this to your exacting detail, or was this more of a something for you to experience?
She's kind of laughing a bit, takes a step, and it's like, well, considering that it's not only my name day, it's a bit more of an orchestrated event. And
what did Henrik plan this?
Oh,
that does explain the peacocks.
There's a gentleman by the name of Nika Thraus who is more.
I know the devil.
Yes.
Yes, my mother has used that creature before. I had a my 16th name day was organized by that man.
Well, then I should warn you, he's still here.
Oh joy. Um,
I
Kinda
believe most of what you may see me wearing has been gone through at least 3 times the approval, and
Oh.
my essentially putting my foot down that he is not allowed to paw through my wardrobe anymore.
Ah, I see. He hasn't planning on you striding a jaguar, is he?
No, luckily, since we're in the Reach, everything deals with flowers, so not quite.
Ah, yes. I had many cats at mine. Yes,
I'm sorry.
there was a large lion, and he had its mane shaved due to the association with the Lannisters. But then he used the shaving of that to create a cloak I was to wear, and my mother was very insistent on it. Are you having a gown made of flowers later?
I hope not.
I go,
Although
I'd love to
have...
see it. If only to know that someone suffered the way I did.
Well, there's still Henrik.
Ooh, there is still Henrik. Hope you have ignited within me. How is your brother after everything?
Well, Henrik. Still Henrik. But I believe with gaining your acquaintance as well as some of the others that he has met during King's Landing has taken more of an active role. So.
Well, if it's... Well, I will take no responsibility for any ill or good that will come out of that. Honestly, if anyone should, Walton should. But how... I know, from what my sister has told me, you and her have got on.
Yes. Yes, we have.
I'm glad to hear it. I've definitely felt after meeting you that you two would, I believe, find a peer in one another.
Is it primarily because of our affection towards horses, or?
Sure.
I would have to hope that I have at least more positive aspects rather than that.
I wouldn't have guessed your dual affinity for horses.
Considering the first conversation that you probably ever saw of mine with your sister dealt with horses.
Did it?
Indeed.
I honestly, when I first met you, I didn't quite notice what you and my sister were talking about.
I will take that as a compliment.
Oh, good. It was meant as one.
Well, Lord knows many people also get distracted when Henrik is there, but it's nice to know that I occasionally have that same effect.
I would occasionally. I would say would be an occasion every time we get to meet. How have you been feeling? A woman grown, he says with a lot of like how are you faring with you? I'm sure the new journey your family will be sending you on.
As prepared as I can be, but as I'm sure you're aware, since you've already gone through a 16th name day, it takes a bit more than just the one day to fully come into that understanding.
No, I am very aware. But I just know it's now I'm sure you no longer have any social excuses that your parents can now just thrust you into. I'm sure you'll be going into court soon.
Indeed.
From what your mother has gone on about.
gone on about.
Oh yes.
That I imagine
She does tend
my
to talk
destination.
a bit louder after imbibing at least a single glass of wine.
Just kind of nod, take a sip. That sounds fairly accurate. I had hoped to keep it slightly more quiet, but
I'm sure it is to some.
probably
But
not to those who have sharp ears. But
my mother has made sure I have had many things sharp. Ears definitely one of them.
I can imagine that from your mother, although I have not formally met her.
They consider it a blessing.
What? Well, I would imagine that she's already aware of who I am and multiple.
Very much so, yes. You and your whole family. She is very aware.
Do I want to know what's been heard of me? Generally, I am the
Oh,
more...
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I believe she seems to be happy that Scarlet and you have been talking. She seemed pleased with it. Though I do not know if that is an entirely good thing. From what I understand, I believe she does like you. Which again is not an entirely good thing.
Which is not entirely good. Generally, another person liking another is deemed, at least in some ways, a positive.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. But my mother tends to forget the people she dislikes. And people she does like, she makes efforts to involve them in things. So I'm sure you will be involved.
So I should anticipate formally meeting your mother then.
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps. Perhaps. I have to say it's very hard to tell with my mother. I love her very dearly, and I would do many things to guarantee her safety and well-being. But she does like to make plans, and that often involve me and my sister, and we are rarely consulted. She's a bit cross/proud of me, as I have recently further defied her in several aspects. And I have found there is actually very little she can do.
Must have been a revelation.
Oh, slightly. She's been very protective of me ever since I was a young boy with the incident, which you wouldn't know about, would you? Because you are not from the Westerlands or my lands.
Just kind of smile.
Yeah, he just like sits back and goes, "Well, that is thrilling. It's
something new, something different. Someone doesn't know of a thing."
Mm-hmm. If you wish to know, I'm not embarrassed of it. I'd be gladly tell you.
Please.
Very well. It's a very thrilling and daring tale where I, when I was a 7-year-old boy playing along a stream near winter, well, not winter, but it was a colder part of the summer. When we're quite near the sea, and it had made a lot of our brooks quite cold. And I was playing near it, and lo and behold, I slipped and fell into the river, and was submerged for quite some time. From what I actually understand, I believe I drowned. I was revived by our maester. I don't know if you've met him, Magoo. He is a strange man, but my father loves him. So, but he's skilled in what he does. He revived me, but ever since then, I don't know. This is a revelation of a weakness. But I don't know what the word would be for it. But I can't see as well. I see you quite clearly as you are now, but if you were maybe 10 or so more yards away, you would look quite fuzzy to me.
Well,
it is seriously impacted my use of any sort of marksmanship ability.
then I guess your talent with a lance and a sword comes greatly in hand then.
It is my very few claim to proper lordship, I suppose.
Well, I wouldn't quite call it a weakness, but...
No?
No.
What would you call it?
Self-awareness. Knowing to possibly keep someone that could have better sight at a distance near while you keep eyes on the foreground.
True enough. It is hard for me to get distracted, I will say.
I don't know. Almost in any field, someone can get distracted.
That I do know. I will say I'm quite taken aback. I was actually planning on finding you later. I feel like I missed out. We did not speak much at the tournament, but well, if I had tried to speak to you in any way, I'm sure Walton would have come running. He seemed rather adamant for your attentions.
Could partially be because I've met him prior to the tournament and his father prior to that.
Perhaps. Walton, he's a friend, and we get on for sure, but he does tend to... we are competitive with one another, but he does seem to try to make everything a competition. Probably because he knows he'll win many times. Though putting him in the dirt in our training sessions always gives me a somewhat small sense of satisfaction.
Then I'm sure you got much satisfaction when Henrik did so with Walton in Henrik's very first tournament.
I will say I was shocked by your brother. I did not think he had that in him, but he did. Your brother is quite skilled, or at least very driven or focused.
You'll find much tenacity.
Or far more cunning than he lets on.
Well, if anything, you'll get another chance to see it because he is participating again.
Yes, I know. I probably won't joust until tomorrow from the rate the lists are going. It's much more of a lackadaisical affair, I think, and I think that's good. Though the tournament isn't as drawing to me. Not that the prize isn't worthy, but I mostly just came for the company.
Yes, because we reach men and women are such good hosts.
Well, I will say you do make a spectacle of things. I've enjoyed it so far. Usually, the spectacles in the Westerlands are far less colorful. They're usually more
Somber.
demeaning, I think would be the more proper term. I've been to many a soiree at Casterly Rock, and Tywin Lannister does like to remind everyone who he is.
Yes.
I mean, if someone isn't publicly ridiculed, I would consider it not a Lannister affair.
Mace is a very different liege lord.
he like looks like he's about to say it, but then he just kind of starts laughing, and he just takes a sip from his wine, and he goes, "I don't think words are needed."
So, you have come more for the company as opposed to the joust.
Yes, very much so. I'm sure a poor excuse if I lose.
Well, you did
And
set a
that's-
standard with how far you made it back in King's Landing.
Jousting is well and good. It keeps my father happy, for certain. He is very adamant about my participation.
Both the joust and the melee, or just the joust?
Oh, if he had his way, I would enter all competitions at every point. He, yes, well, he believed, I suppose he does have a lot of confidence in me. But, what about you? What is, do you have plans for, court?
Do I have plans for court? Of what I do
Yeah.
in court, or if I attend court? Because the latter question, I think we
from
both
what I
know has already been answered.
I do believe you will be attending court in Highgarden, no less. How do you feel about that?
Strange collection of feelings. Excited, nervous. I wouldn't quite say apprehensive of what I could encounter, but
Wary?
indeed.
Makes sense. Court at any capital can be treacherous, depending. From what I know of the Tyrells, that I believe that court is.
It's less the Tyrells and more, well, exception of one Tyrell, but let's just say that a court of roses has many thorns.
You have stolen the words I was going to use.
I'm sorry, would you like them back?
No, they're much better on you. No, wise, I suppose. Yes, I would be nervous, for certain. Your mother courted at Casterly Rock, did she not?
She nods, takes a sip. Yes.
I understand. Yeah, my mother courted at River Run. She said it wasn't hard. Though, if it was, she would never admit it. Yes, no. But, yes. I have definitely thought about you going there for a bit once I heard, and I just can't also help but think of my own sister.
Has she gone to court?
No.
Does your mother plan to let her go to court?
From what I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, considering it would probably be Castle Rock, I can't say I blame her.
Well, very few are there anymore, but I understand. Trust me, it's not out of a worry of Scarlet. I think it's more out of wow, this wine must be getting thick, but I'm sure you don't want to hear about it.
I won't pry, but considering I'm already fated to go to my own court.
But it is what you want, yes?
Indeed. I have often been told that my home is fairly unorthodox. So it'll give me insight into more of what I should expect to marry into and deal with in my future.
Well, I enjoy how unorthodox your house is. And I do hope you don't get too used to the correct way a Westerosi lady is supposed to act. That requires far less talking. And you do have so many things to say.
It's interesting that you say that, considering we haven't had much chance to speak before.
Well, I must admit, I mean, there were nights where Walton did go on.
She kind of like gives a look. It's like, ooh, I want to ask, but it's like,
He's giving nothing away. So, I believe some of his words were, I don't know if I can quite say them right, is, she is very much the effervescent of beauty and wit and something along those lines. He was quite drunk.
Good to know that that's what is produced in that state of mind.
Yes, I believe he did state he could listen to you talk for days.
She like kind of proceeds to like maybe like place the wine glass back on the table, and it's like, it'd be lonely to talk alone though.
I would say so. Though I doubt Walton would let you talk alone for long. Many young heirs of our group, well, Walton's group,
You don't count yourself amongst them.
I do. But I will admit, I've never quite connected with them. They had aspirations and goals that didn't quite always align to mine, but it deemed appropriate that I spent time with them. Walton I consider a friend, though we do seem to have a contest to undermine each other as much as possible.
I can't quite say that it's exactly the same, but I'm familiar with competitiveness, considering my brother and one of his close friends here.
Yes, there was once when we were younger, a young lass I favored, and he told her that if that should to prove my feelings, that I should use my skills with a bow. Yes. Made quite a fool of myself.
I'm sure there was some sort of recompense, though.
Oh, of course. But I do know that it's never been out of any form of cruelty. I knew where it came from. We were young. But yes, there has been revenge, I suppose, gained several times on both ends.
It's interesting. I don't know if it's the wine or if it's more the atmosphere, but you seem less kind of like just self-contained than when in King's Landing.
Yes. I suppose I am. Yeah, things have changed. Well, not changed. There was a sort of expectation of me at King's Landing. And some events had happened of recent that sort of... There was some Well, my parents had become upset with one of my siblings and believed their actions could shame the family, so I stepped up to sort of take the brunt of that attention. So I was sort of... I had to be perfect at King's Landing. But I believe after the events of that place, that need has blown over. So I feel I can be a little more myself here. I hope you don't mind. I don't know if you preferred me more withdrawn. I could clam up.
No. I much prefer to know the person for who they are, as opposed to...
Yes. That's very forbidden in my family.
Oh, no. Heaven forbid.
Yes. The seven are watching. Yes. But...
Eyes are everywhere.
I do find myself in a bit of a rebellious stage at the moment, I suppose. A little late for my age, perhaps, but it is there all the same.
We can just blame it on Henrik. All on Henrik.
I do like your brother. He is
very likable, yes. I must admit, yes, I like my brother.
Dude.
Heaven forbid.
That is a rare thing to like one's own brother.
Well, one would have to hope. We shared a womb.
That's right, you're twins. I always forget that. Even though you two, I suppose, do look somewhat alike.
Should we stand near each other, close up, so then you can tell?
Unnecessary.
It might be a little hard because he's still having issues and just like the face scrub.
I see. Oh yes. But is this very, very astute of you to notice about earlier? But yeah, no, I feel, well, maybe not feel, but I am determined to, I guess, enjoy myself.
Truly rebellious behavior indeed.
Yes. Oh, very much so.
We Weirlights were just ruining you.
It's true. You're a bad influence.
We're horrible.
You and Henrik. I will say I have against my I said some things to your brother back then. I sort of regret now. I don't know. I hope it helped him in the end, but it does seem that there are no hard feelings, and I'm glad my sister has gotten to know you both. I find myself, what would be the term? Grateful for your acquaintance.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Just very interesting. I'm not generally told to find my acquaintance to be a grateful thing. I've been told honored and all sorts of other pretty words, but
well, I will say you yourself seem less guarded than you were at King's Landing as well.
Well, I imagine you did hear of everything. Well, most of what...
I did hear in the end about some things, so obviously you had your reasons.
There were additional things as well, which...
I'm sure.
It does not make me very keen to head back there anytime soon.
That I will agree with you. If I never see the Red Keep again, I think I will have lived a good life.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure if we will be that lucky.
He nods. Knowing how the direction times are headed, I'm sure we will see it again.
But I figure I don't know. It is my name day. I don't know if I should let the playing field be even.
He looks interested, for sure.
Oh, I was just going to say that since you revealed a weakness, you could ask a prying question.
Could I now? Like,
but I don't know if I wish to let you have that. It depends.
Oh.
It depends.
I was like, quite rude of you.
Well.
It is your name day, yes.
Yes, but I think I will let you have it anyways.
Oh.
You have been a wonderful conversationalist so far, so.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. I do mean to be. Prying question, eh? I feel I've already asked a prying question or two. I'm like, do you have a question in mind? Is there something about you that you wish to reveal to me?
I would never dare lead you into such a field.
No.
No, I will leave that open. However, how much I disclose is another thing.
Fair enough. I don't know if I quite believe you. But if you wish a prying question, I will ask it.
I was merely offering it, not quite wishing.
Oh, no. No. I mean, if you offer it up, it would be rude of me to refuse an offer, especially of a lady on her name day. Hmm. Um, hmm. I suppose. Well, there are several questions, and many have varying interests in my mind, but I think might as well just. Well, do you ever feel that you are who you are because you were meant to be, or that someone made you that, or someone made you that way?
Both.
I would be titillated if you elaborated.
I would say that the latter helps give part of a foundation, but however much you take away from it falls more towards the former.
It's comforting. He kind of leans in his chair back a bit.
I'm sorry, was that too deep and profound for someone just newly minted and deemed an adult within our...
No, I think I was just appropriate. No, it's just comforting to know that, well, there's someone out there who feels slightly the way I feel. He takes a bigger sip of his wine and goes, oh.
Shocking, isn't it? Finding that you're not necessarily alone. Kind of like stands up and like adjusts the skirts.
Yeah, he'll stand if you stand.
Mm-hmm. So. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you as well.
Hopefully, you can enjoy. Well, not quite sure if you're signed up for the melee as well as the joust, but...
No, I did not.
More time to enjoy the company.
That was the hope.
Well, I would say that hopefully the 7 smile on you and your competition, and who knows, maybe you'll even get to the point of having to see Henrik in there.
Oh, that would be quite enjoyable.
So.
Yeah, he bows to you and will open the tent for you. Mm-hmm. Thank you for your visit.
Hopefully you enjoy the rest of the time, although I'm sure we will run into each other later. I believe
sure
there's rumors of dancing.
Oh, indeed. All right. Excellent. You leave the tent.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we will flutter on over to Clarissa.
Yes.
Yes, you, Clarissa, the very same.
Hello.
What are you doing at the moment, Clarissa?
Yeah. At the moment, after her conversation with her father, she heads back to her office to send a quick letter, and then her and Birch go walking around the grounds. Just for a while. She wants to get a look at what's happening Also, Birch deserves a walk. He just sat through about 8 hours straight of paperwork, so.
He does. He wants the walkies real bad.
Mm.
Yeah, you send the letter. You walk the grounds for a time. You see, beautifully decorated. There's lots of lively laughing, music everywhere. There is some kind of display with fire eating in an area. Seems quite fun. You see, there is a May wheel set up, which is essentially like a wagon spoke on top of a post that is spun, and that children are attached to the end of it by their feet, their ankles by rope. Essentially, it's essentially what like a ride was in medieval era. So there are just children being spun in a circle by their ankles. They are giggling with great force. And as you're kind of walking, you of course, you hear the clash of the jousts. And as you're kind of walking around there, Birch suddenly stops. And he begins sniffing the air. Like he's starting to smell something.
She'll kind of like look around and start talking out loud to him. What are you
He goes,
looking at?
Woof.
Go, I guess.
And then he just bolts a thing off.
Okay. Yeah, she follows.
Yeah. Kind of bolts off, kind of past the tournament field, kind of through some of the like tents areas of the pitch that's been set up. He kind of stops at a tent and sniffs it a bit, and then keeps going. He seems really excited. His tail is all the way up in the air, and doing that thwacking back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he seems just real excited. And you then see kind of just past the tents, there is a horse sort of like pitched with its reins tied to a pitch in the ground. And there is a knight in plate mail with white barding, and Birch charges the knight. And it jumps up onto the knight, and the knight turns and like steps back a bit, and then starts going on his knees and starts petting Birch very resistlessly. It looks like they begin to take one of their gauntlets off, and then begins to pet Birch, and Birch is just starting to lick the knight.
Yeah, at first she was like, I am so sorry.
And you then get closer, you just say, oh, Birch, there you go, boy. And taking off his helmet, you see Jaren.
Yay!
Birch, you traitor, first of all. Hello, Jared.
He looks up and is like, Lady Clarissa. And he goes to stand up, and then just immediately, like, Birch in face licking. He's just like, all right.
It's not allowed yet, apparently. Sorry.
It's quite all right. It's good to see him again. And he's just petting Birch, looking at you, going, hello, my lady. It's been not terribly long.
No. Last time I saw you, you were a little indisposed.
He looks down like, yes, I was. I am sorry about that.
Sorry?
Well, yes.
For what?
I couldn't accomplish your task.
Oh, Jaren, that's ridiculous.
Well, I couldn't return to you with my task accomplished.
Yes.
Same thing in my book.
We found you. Birch found us, and then we found you. So
Yes.
it was fine.
Yes. Like, he's a very good boy, isn't he? And he just begins to give him more scritches, and just doing that, like, he's not stopped licking Jaren's hand or thing, and it's just a constant big old dog tongue lick.
I could tell him to stop, but I don't really want to.
He smiles. I don't mind it.
Good.
And just still scratching his head and then his side. I don't know if you heard. I'm a knight now. That's obvious, obviously.
Mhm. I had a feeling. And I also had a feeling about Constance. It's kind of a fair conclusion to come to after what you did for her.
What do you mean?
Saved her life?
Oh, well, yes, of course.
Yeah. And then you were knighted?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is the logical conclusion.
Yes. Yeah, her father knighted me. It was I was very honored.
Yes, I was expecting you to come here as a knight even before I saw you as a knight.
Oh. Wow. Her father offered servitude to him. I had to turn it down. I couldn't leave the Weirlights. But I really have to, because then Lord and Lady Weirlight offered me a landing. So I am Jaren Landed Knight now. Sir Jaren.
Sir Jaren.
Yes.
Surname is Landed Knight.
Surname, yes.
I think it goes, yes, I do. I was forced on the document to have a name now.
Do you?
I do.
What should I refer to you as then?
Well, you, my lady, you may always just call me Jaren, but I am. She looks kind of embarrassed. He goes, I am Sir Jaren Birchsong. And he takes his shield and props it up, and you see a field of white with the outline of a blue hound.
Everyone likes my dog more than me. I suppose it makes sense.
I wouldn't say that, my lady. And then he just begins to keep petting the dog.
Jaren, you will likely get a missive from me later, and you can mostly ignore it, I think.
Oh. All right. Very well, my lady.
Can I ask why you're here?
Well, today, I'm in the lists.
Oh.
Yes, I've been riding and knocking men down from my horse in war for quite some time, so I thought I might as well do it for... What is this? Fun? Sport?
Oh, I don't know. I put up the funding, and then I kind of left it to a horrid party planner. You should really meet him.
Oh.
He's a tragedy of a person. I really don't know why Vivienne hired him, but...
Lady Vivienne does love her eccentricities.
Tragedy of a person.
This is true.
No, I'm here to, I suppose, prove that Lord Tedric and Lady Vivienne were fit to land me as a knight. Done so well so far. I'm in the 4th round.
Ah, in your, pardon my ignorance, your first tournament?
Nods.
Ah.
I don't mean to sound boastful, but it's not particularly hard.
Henrik said something similar to me, as a matter of fact, but I can imagine that someone of your skill, especially having been trained by our people here.
Yes. Cedric did teach me very well. But yes, no, kind of looks down and goes, "This was afforded to me by our Lord and Lady." Gesturing to the plate mail, he goes, "I never thought I would ever be wearing something like this. Does it suit me at all?"
As a matter of fact, it does, I think.
Well, good.
It better be. Apparently, you're going to be wearing it for a while now.
Yes, God, I have land. I still have to build something on it, which I have been doing. It's just not quite done yet.
You'll forgive my privilege, but that's never really a thought that's occurred to me before. That you just get lands and there's nothing on it.
Oh yes, no, there's nothing on my land. I'm free to cultivate it and build on it in any way I wish, as it was explained to me. But it's just sort of land.
Almost exciting in all of the possibilities.
Yes. I'm just glad I've had the upbringing I did. I know a little bit about labor work, so just sort of building it myself at the moment.
That's quite a lot of work, I'm sure.
Work that will lead to something good. Feels good to work on something you've earned.
Ooh, I can understand that sentiment. Although I really
would
didn't
imagine.
earn
He looks at you. He goes, "Your title may have given you this job, but I feel I am speaking for most under your service that you have earned it 10 times over."
Oh, well, I appreciate the sentiment. I've been recognized twice.
Yes, I have heard.
Mm.
Well, if you would like to know, my lady, before getting to know you at King's Landing, I had very little understanding of who you were and what you did.
Good, as you should. That's completely unfounded.
After learning who you were and what you did, I would understand why. But I have told, I will tell you, I have told no one your name.
Yes. But and that's the thing. It's not your fault, definitely. It's for sure my fault. I was the one who put mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I don't think none were as grave as the ones I made in King's Landing.
Didn't they lead eventually to the success of overthrowing a plot to your house, though?
True. That's true. But it's mistakes nonetheless.
Can I ask, what was the letter that I am to ignore about?
Maybe don't ignore it so much. It's still a conversation that we might need to have.
Oh, well, he kind of looks around, no one really around, like, I am free at the moment.
She starts to fidget. Yeah, you are, aren't you? And as am I, which may change at any minute. So, my father is trying to marry me off.
Oh.
To a knight I've never heard of.
I see.
It's not the best situation. But in order for me to get things done that I need to get done, because my father is bullheaded, I must get married first. And here's the thing. I do not want to marry a random knight who thinks me incredible because I stopped a war by getting attacked by a shadow cat. That's all he knows about me. So the logical conclusion, well, it took a couple leaps, but...
Are you asking me to duel this night?
No, I'm asking you to marry me.
Oh, And he just like
The
stops
sound
petting
is
Birch, and he goes,
brain breaking.
he smiles, and he stands up. He goes, "My lady, I'm sorry. I think I misheard you. What did you want of me?"
I'm asking you to marry me.
I see.
Of course you don't have to.
He looks at you and he goes, I just never dreamed something like that would be possible. But if
Marrying me. I'm a third daughter of a sonless house from a minor house in the Reach. Daughters
And-
are not few.
and I'm the son of a poor dog breeder.
Yes, but you're my son of a poor dog breeder.
And he just goes, "Do you?" He's just like, And
You
then
can
he's
think about it.
he's going to walk he's just going to walk up to you and say, "Yes."
Ah, perfect. Yes. I told my father I would be able to get it done this quickly. Brilliant.
I think. Well, well, fuck it. And he goes to kiss you.
Yeah, she'll kiss him back.
Yeah. And yeah, it's not a bad kisser.
She like pulls back and goes, "There's so much to do."
He goes, "Oh, I suppose. Oh God, I have to talk to your father, don't I?" Oh,
Yes.
what is it? What you told me some things about your father, that he's big-headed and bull-headed, and he's stubborn about a war or something. I think, all right. Well, I'll go talk to him now then.
All right, I will come with you.
Yes. All right. And he like walks past you a second, turns around, he goes, "I'm so sorry," and then he kisses you again, but this time like, and then just like kind of lowering you slowly for a bit, and then comes back and goes, "Okay, just had to make sure." He looks so fucking happy. Your passive awareness is fucking 24. You can read him like a book. He looks like he's not sure he believes this is actually happening. But cool. Dope.
Yeah, and she's just got a huge happy grin on her face, and she's calling Birch to her side as they walk.
Yeah. He gestures for you to take his arm.
She does.
All right. Excellent. So you walk on. All right. So Vivienne, you have been entertaining your cabal for quite a time. The hour is growing somewhat late. Apparently the tournament for the first day is wrapping up. You have more important information. You have been informed of your recent knight that you have acquired has made it to unscathed to the next round of the tournament.
Good. He's not just for looks then.
And I will say, walking up the thoroughfare, You notice, you see him, of course, Sir Jaren, and you see on his arm Lady Clarissa.
Is something wrong?
She looks like, she definitely very much looks like the cat who ate the canary.
Okay, so she's not like limping or anything and needing him to like...
No. Looks like this is on purpose.
I have a question.
Yes, Nymora.
Where is Nymora?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
You would have been down by...
Yeah, last I was near Ashella.
You would probably be down by the tourney field.
Mm-hmm.
What's your passive awareness?
My awareness is 2, so it's just
8.
Yeah,
so no, I don't think you would have noticed anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're just watching people wrap up and talking to folk. Looks like Henrik wasn't quite needed. It went a little slower than they were expecting today. But yeah, no, you see Vivian, you see them pass you.
Well, if it's on purpose, this is, I mean, I don't know what this is about.
Mm-hmm. You've also seen Jennifer flirting with a man for the past few hours.
Everyone's just getting laid, and I love it. I throw such a good party. I'm so good. Good job, Vivian.
Good job, Vivian. Yep. You've definitely seen your husband beginning to encroach the hill. He looks pleased as punch. Perhaps even looks a little like maybe intrigued with himself at the moment.
Oh.
Tedric, you meet up with your wife after the tournament. So far of the performances, many of the knights have performed very well. Not all of them have gotten to participate quite yet, but your recent knight, Sir Jaren from your original battalion, he's done quite well in the lists.
Very good.
So your secret bets on that have been going well.
It's gauche if Tedric wins his own melee, but if you can't beat our knights, I mean, that's on you. Honestly. You expected no less. Jaren is a veteran cavalryman. He is used to murdering people on the back of a horse. So this is pretty laissez-faire for him.
This is easy.
Yeah.
Oh, I just gotta knock him off the horse?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to impale them.
Interesting.
Novel.
It's frowned upon.
But you see your wife, your beautiful... God, she's so gorgeous in this fading light. And you're so drunk. So merrily drunk, I think would be the term.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, dear. You seem quite pleased with yourself.
Yes, I do feel rather pleased with myself. In fact, I may have done something really good.
Oh, do tell.
I introduced Allura to Henrik.
Did they hit it off? How did it...
Well,
Felix told you they did.
Felix informed me that they really hit it off. And, that things are going quite well in that department.
Well, he is your son, so charming
Yes.
a girl I don't think would be an issue.
Yes,
I'm very proud of you. Are you proud of yourself?
Oh. You know what? This time I will take credit.
Have you been enjoying yourself?
Almost every other time. Yes, actually, I have. I stopped by, spoke with Mace for a little bit. Checked on the present in the stables. It went rather well.
Oh, I'm
I
so
know.
excited.
I can't wait.
Have you heard anything about if Mariella is getting on with anyone in particular? I have very curiously heard nothing.
You know, I haven't heard anything about it either.
Interesting.
Then again, it is your daughter, so
supposed to mean?
Yeah, it means that if she doesn't want us to know, we probably won't find out till it's too late.
I don't know if I'm proud or irritated by that. I'll go with proud for now.
Okay. I prefer that.
Mm.
Also, she's very strong-minded and probably could take care of herself better than Henrik.
That's fine, but
I know you want the gossip. I know.
it's not about gossip, dear. She's 16 now, and so,
Yes, she's a woman.
yes, everyone says that, but
I
she,
know.
while
She's still a
able
baby.
to, Tiedrick, again, don't try to guess what I'm saying. You're terrible at it. I'm going to say Hen has, of course, the natural ability to charm any girl he comes across, but I have not seen Mariella have any interest in any gentleman. She seems more interested in savas matches than finding, well, I'm not saying she needs to find a husband now, but someone at least interested in. And I
Wasn't
know
that boy, Walton?
Hmm?
The Walton. The Dover kid.
I know who he is, but she danced with him once. That doesn't mean anything. Hmm.
Well, either we can go and pry into her life, or we can go for a ride.
We could, couldn't we? Well, I have nothing. Everything, is set here. Nicothraus can take care of everything, and let's go.
Yes, there is in fact a 3-hour rest period as the festivities are ending. 3-hour rest period for everyone to just chill out, and then dinner.
Code word has been called. Code word has been called.
Why? I'm so glad we're not here. Why? Oh.
Naimora, you are
Queen of
beginning
the
to
sibling, I swear to God.
you and Henrik are beginning to come up the thoroughfare, and you do see Tiedrick grabbing Vivian's hand as they giddily race towards the stable, and you're just like,
Oh.
I just imagine Mariella coming up and both of them look at each other.
yeah, you definitely come up to meet Naimora and Henrik, yeah.
Well,
Yep.
I suppose that is that. Have the two of you been enjoying your name day so far?
Sibling
was,
number 7.
But...
Sibling number 6.
God damn it, stop.
I mean, 2 of them are leaving. So
We
Well,
have to
I
replace
know we
them.
met a lot of NPCs with 10 brothers and sisters or more. We don't have to meet that, guys. We're
I have to
pretty
be
set.
better. I have to be better than every woman in the Reach.
She has
We're
to be
set
more
with the
fertile.
5.
But-
Really, that's enough.
once we
Good
found out that
now.
the one
We
had
don't-
10, we have to
But
kick
anyways,
We don't need that many daughters.
As you were saying.
Mariella will probably turn to Naimora, and it's like, so far so good, but I do believe I have to go through the last wardrobe approval of one Nicothraus before this evening.
Maybe it's that I've gotten lucky, but he hasn't really bothered me that much.
He's been trying to convince me to go with this sort of leather doublet. I've been telling him it's too hot for that kind of weather, and I should really go with some different sort of what's that mere silk you had? You had a dress made out of it. It was really nice, and it's it goes really well with this new.
It's too late to make
lilac
anything
cape.
for you out of it.
It's never too late for that. We
However,
can
I
make
do
it happen,
believe
okay?
that he had plans for some sort of a flower cape of some variety. You could turn it into a half cape.
That's
Sounds like so much work.
It's already made.
No,
It could
the
very
wearing
easily
of
be
it
turned
sounds
into a
like
half
work.
cape.
You are escorted up. You have some time to lay down, take a nap. Almost everyone here is about to go take a 3-hour nap.
Thank God.
And then when you wake up, it'll be dinner time.
Dinner!
Yes, and of course, as a traditional
God,
name day fashion, of the kind of
3 days or so 3-4 days we're having here, I think it's maybe 5 days.
It's something.
It's
God, I have to
something.
plan so many
Every meal you have is one of you two's favorites. You have, of course.
What are our favorite meals? We gotta decide
Well,
that later. That's a good
tonight's is Mariella's. So, what is one of Mariella's favorite dishes?
question. Ladies first.
You know, something that your cook has made that you've always found to be one of your favorite.
Oh God. I think that there's definitely like basically like a charcuterie like cheese spread at the beginning. There's
Love charcuterie boards.
they're so good.
Lots of figs, some nice spreads on there.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
cool.
With like a mostarda kind of a thing. Absolutely. I'm sorry, we're
There's
about
so
to
many
get into
cheeses.
Aaron Foodie Land. I'm sorry. I believe that there's a mix of like various different like game pies, and it's not like one type per table. It's like varieties throughout. In addition to probably, oh no, that as much as that is Mariella, they would not have that cooking process. I would say, I would say
What were you
that there's
planning?
probably. Well, no, I was thinking like an impapillote thing, but they don't have parchment paper, so that's not a thing.
They have like cheesecloth or something like that.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know if that
it
would
does
work
different
with that,
functions.
though. Yeah,
But
fair.
no, I think that there's maybe like some pheasant and like duck and things of that nature. And then Mariella tends to be more partial towards kind of like the tart berries of like a raspberry and things like that. So
Excellent. Oh yes. So there is a lovely spread, and just before we end here tonight, Clarissa.
Oh, it's getting spooky now.
I mean, we don't always have
We
to
don't know
assume
that
we're going
yet.
spooky.
But yeah, but you ended with Clarissa, so I mean.
yeah, who might be getting
sorry,
engaged? They might be going to
continue
talk to
on
Papa
your
after
very
one.
non-spooky ending, Tony.
So, I'm from what I understand, Clarissa, you are to be with Jaren when he talks to your father to show that like
He's real.
This is the choice.
Yeah, and also to make sure he doesn't say anything dumb.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is
You do.
fair.
Yeah.
Father or
true.
Jerry?
Both.
Neither.
Yeah, Jaren's. Let's see, where are you, Sir Jaren? Jaren. There you are. Yeah, I will definitely say, eloquent speech, not Jaren's, it's forte, his savoir-faire.
He try.
Yeah, he's better at killing people.
Thank you.
Feel good at that.
Which he does. He starts off with a good introduction of basically as you come up, and he basically is like, "I am, excuse me, my lord. I think Asterwood. I am. Did you not know me? But I am Sir Jaren Birchsong, sworn to House Weirlight." Which immediately your father goes, "Oh." He likes the word "sworn to House Weirlight." That seems to be a positive there. And he goes, I think, though you do not know me, I'm a veteran of the Red Cavalry. And he goes, "Oh." I have lands. They may not be as wide and vast as yours, but I have found them fitting, and as has your daughter. And I have come on behalf of myself and her to beseech the right to take her hand in holy matrimony. And your father's just like, then like looks down at you. He goes, "Is this what you were talking about?"
I told you.
Wow, you only needed the afternoon. I did not believe it. Jordan looks like, "Yep." Sure. And then you see your father begin to ask Jaren a series of questions. All of them mostly having to do with like
martial knowledge and things of that nature, which with Jaren's rank in fighting, he knows quite well. As Jaren is technically the rank of a knight of quality. Yes, because he is quite experienced for his age. So he seems to nail that. And there is things of like, can you support it? Like, well, I'm a landed knight and I do have Lord Teacher is more good, and you have lands and building up, and just asking what he's doing with it. And you definitely feel like your dad's asking too many questions.
Yeah, the glare is intensifying.
Yeah,
quickly.
he's not staring at you, but you can tell he's feeling it. And he's just like, very well, obviously my daughter has come to you, and how would she know to come to you? And then he says, I got to know her in King's Landing. And there I saw more of her than I ever thought I would ever get to, and her soul truly, and I care for her deeply, and I have thought of very little else since leaving her side. And your father just like, and then like looks down at you. Are you just fucking glaring at him? Like, what's the face?
Deep, kind of a smug grin, but also like deep stop dad energy.
Yeah, oh yeah. And he's just like, well, if my brother brought you to me, I doubt I would have said no in the beginning. And he's just like, eyes go wide, and goes, but at least I know that the man my daughter is going to marry is going to care for her, and that I like him. And he shakes his hand. He looked me in the eye. It was good. Like, did you tell him to do that?
No, I didn't give him any coaching.
You didn't give him any coaching?
Isn't he fantastic?
He goes, yes. I was like, well, I was like, purebred, aren't you? And he kind of just hits his shoulder, and he goes, what? It's just, yep. And he goes, right, well, very well. You have my blessing, and I will tell you that the bride price will be of no insignificant amount. And he goes, what? Oh, yes. He's just like, oh, fuck, right, traditions, customs. He gets paid to marry you, essentially. And he's like, oh, shit. Cool. So it's official. Clarissa Asteroid, you are engaged to Sir Joran Birchsong. Sir Jaren's sorry. Now, knowing you, I'm guessing this is not announced. No. Yeah, so if you tell Jaren, like, I want to keep this on the down low until later, he is like, sure, anything you said, say, I'm sure there was a reason.
Especially, hell no, it's our day, or week.
It would be gauche.
I love how Aaron's the one that it's like, no, this is my week. I'm supposed to shine. Don't take it from me.
I'm so happy for you, but don't do this to me, okay?
All right. Then we will finish out with dinner being had, and Clarissa feeling a deep sense of relief over something going right. And due to that, of her sense of relief, she, of course, doesn't notice what has begun to happen.
Yes.
So we will bid you all good night. Can't wait to see you guys next time. We will be kind of moving through the next few days very, very quickly. We'll just kind of be having a interaction, starting with Lady Vivian. For just kind of one thing per day, kind of moving through a little quicker, and seeing how the birthday celebration ends.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to my players for being fantastic and patient and gorgeous.
And thank you for being the same.
Cute.
Thank you very much. And we will see you guys next time. I love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.